everybody, welcome to Amy Nolte Music. You can see the extended version of this video over on Nebula. Click the link in the description. This is going to be a fun one. It might be more fun for you than me because I have to confess a couple of embarrassing things right off the bat. Here we go. When I was a kid, I was growing up in this very tiny town in Northern California called Weaverville. Nobody ever came through there doing concerts, ever. The closest city was an hour away called Redding. Small. One time, when I was in the 4th grade, my parents saw that Marie Osmond, who they liked, was coming to the Civic Auditorium in Redding, California. And they got tickets and they thought, this would be great. Let's take Amy. She loves music. She's going to see a woman up on the stage. Like, let's take her. It was awesome of my parents, really. And I was obsessed and I wanted to be Marie Osmond. And I got the cassette at the end of the concert and I devoured that thing. For like a year, I wanted to be a country singer. How about that? Well, it didn't take very long, maybe until I turned 11 or 12, before I realized that none of the cool kids were listening to Marie Osmond. Sorry, Marie. Very recently, it was just last week, I was listening to Sirius XM radio. It's another confession of mine. I'm a radio girl. I always will be. I love my Sirius XM. And one of my presets, comes in the third confession, is prime country. Country from the 80s and 90s. It was a very good era for country music. Fight me. And I heard a song from that album, that Marie Osmond album. It was a duet that she did with Dan Seals. And I think that it was the only hit from the album. It was called Meet Me in Montana. I want to see the mountains in your eyes. I heard it on the radio. And oh my gosh, I sang every word, knew every chord, kind of blew me away. And I was like, how did I do that? I swear I hadn't listened to that album since I was 10 or 11 years old. So I was taking a trip recently. I was up in Idaho driving for like an hour and I thought, I'm just going to look up this album. So I looked it up and I just put it on. I thought, wouldn't it be crazy if these deep cuts from this Marie Osmond album from like 1988 would come back to me? And it blew my freaking mind. I can't tell you how many lines of lyrics I said out loud. I was like, this lyric is coming next. And then it would come next. And I would be like, okay, it's going to go to the 4 chord. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's going to be like a sharp 4 diminished chord. And then a guitar solo happened and I sang every note of it. I was like, if you would have asked me to sing one of those tracks, there's no way I would have been able to recall it. It never would have happened until I hear it. And then somewhere in here, it was like my brain had kept it just, undiscoverable, like locked away for like, 35 years or something. And as soon as I heard it, everything came back to me. And the craziest thing is that as a 10-year-old, I didn't have language like sharp 4 diminished chord, right? I didn't know what that was. But the sounds were in my brain. And it was like me as an older person with a lot of music theory knowledge and music history in me now, I could predict what was coming next, name it, and be right. I saved the very last track. I haven't listened to it yet because I wanted to do it in front of you, and I will do that at the end of this video. I went to the NAMM conference in Anaheim this weekend, and I decided that if I could run into any of my YouTubing music friends, or just music friends, I guess, that I would ask them to do this for me, and they were willing. So the first friend that I asked to do this for me was Jake Lizzio from Signals Music. If you don't follow Jake and you love guitar and music theory, you should follow Jake. Jake decided, I said the cringier the better, Jake. He decided that the very first album he ever owned when he was like 8 or 9 years old was Ace of Base. Let's watch how this unfolded.
Okay, we're going to try Happy Nation, the US version. It sounds like Ace of Base. Ace of Base had that classic, and then Gaga used it in Alejandro. This is more dramatic than I remember it being. I think Gaga took a lot of influence. I'm hearing a lot of Gaga. Living in a happy nation. I remember, okay, yeah. The bass is cool. I don't remember realizing that. And I think there's like this breakdown, like na 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 ba, flat 6, 5, yeah, yeah, and the whisper, oh yeah, the energy jumps like in the whistle, yeah. This is weird.
How about a lyric?
I know something is something and mankind brotherhood. No, I think there's something mankind brotherhood
In another
I think
verse or something?
Yeah, is it here? And mankind brotherhood.
Nice.
Flat 6, 5. I'm speaking in Swedish. Something like that.
Wasn't that fun? Crazy to see that Jake, well, he recalled that weird lyric, right? That was pretty cool. He also could feel the energy of the song, and he knew when it was going to shift. And it just lit him up, didn't it? Like you could just see his brain working and recalling everything in real time. The next friend that I asked to do this is Jay Metcalf from the Better Sax Company. And he's amazing as well. Many, many amazing videos and makes saxophones. Jay was really fun. It took him a long time to think of an album. I had to be like, okay, like think about who were your friends back when you were in the 4th, 5th grade. And he goes, Appetite for Destruction. And I was like, yes. So we opened up a phone, we got Appetite for Destruction. And I said, we're not doing Welcome to the Jungle or Paradise City. We have to find a deep cut. So we're looking through and he lands on Mr. Brownstone. Watch what happens.
So everyone knows Welcome to the Jungle, Mr. Brownstone. Do you know Mr. Brownstone?
No, I don't.
Okay, let's get that one. Just jumped out
one.
at me. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm listening. Here we
Put
go.
it right on your ear.
Wow, so it's like this scratch guitar thing. It's funny, all this stuff is so like diatonic, right? I mean, it's just all, it's not musically sophisticated, right? Oh yeah, I can air guitar I probably can air guitar the solo note for note. Get up at around 9. Another note, just words waste my time. I mean, oh, that's crazy. Because if you had asked me, can you sing Mr. Brownstone? I'd be like, no, I have no idea what that is. But I can sing the whole thing. I'm 11. It's about 11. Feeling fine. Yeah. Dancing with Mr. Brownstone. Yeah. And he's like Axl Rose, now. You know,
Oh my God.
Axl, right?
Just best guess, how old were you the last time you heard that song?
Couldn't have been more. Last time I heard that song, I mean, that I actually listened to it consciously and it wasn't on the background, probably 12 or 13.
12 or 13.
Yeah.
And you're like 50 now?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like
I
those
know.
words came back to you
Oh, yeah.
and you've never thought about them in all those years.
No.
Why would you?
Well, you know what? I saw something the other day and somebody was saying, so it was like some podcast thing and somebody was like, they asked somebody to recall a memory from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they did. And then the person, the neurologist or whatever, said, listen, that memory doesn't actually exist in your brain. The memory was created by me asking you. Because if I had, if we went into your brain 10 minutes ago and tried to find the lyrics for Mr. Brownstone, we would never find them. But it's triggered by, I'm not a neurologist,
Yes.
I don't know, but this is what I heard. So I think there's like a debate about what is a memory? Is a memory like created by a trigger, or is it actually some, ones and zeros in your brain?
I had to put Jay in the thumbnail of this video because his reactions just slayed me. Wasn't he amazing? Like, those lyrics just came right back to him. He said he could sing the whole thing. He said he could sing the solo, and wasn't that cool? Just the way that his whole being lit up because there was something from his past. I'm not even really going to touch on the emotion of what happens because this stuff is stored in that kind of primal place that lives inside of us from that age of like 8 to 14, where we're just sponges soaking up everything and becoming like who we're going to be, You could see that in Jay, right? Like you could see those memories flooding back to him. But to me, it was just amazing that he had new language, right? He knew the term scratch guitar. He wouldn't have known that when he was a kid. He said that it was diatonic and simple. He wouldn't have known that as a kid. This is his later self reflecting on it. And it's all just extremely fascinating to me. It's so fun. All right, one of my coolest experiences at NAMM was that I made a new friend. I'm just walking along, minding my own business, and a guy walks up to me and thanks me for my videos, and then just nonchalantly says, and I also play keyboards for Green Day. And then I said, "Oh my gosh, you're Jason Freese." And now Jason Freese is in my video because he's awesome like that. And he invited my husband and I over to his house, and we hung out. And so thank you, Jason. And I asked him what he was listening to when he was a kid. Now, this guy has listened to a lot of music, but I said, the cringier, the better. He has a lot of vinyl. What he settled on was a new wave album that Kenny Loggins made. It's an album called Vox Humana that I had not heard of before, and that Jason says he hasn't listened to in a really long time. So we found a deep cut from that album, and you can watch it unfold. Yeah, that looks really new wave. That's killer. Okay, this project was called Vox Humana?
Yeah.
Got it. And how long do you think it's been since you listened to that?
In entirety?
Like, let's pick a track. Like, what's track number 8 or 9?
Okay. Here's the funny thing. It's been so long, there's only 3 songs on here that I can even look at the titles and know how they go.
Yes,
but
good.
I can guarantee I can listen to the entire album and I will know how every song goes.
Yes! That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Let's put it on.
All right, let's put it on.
What track are you going to pick?
The pressure right now is just too much.
What are you looking at?
Okay. Lorraine.
Okay, Lorraine.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
I'm nervous. Drum machine already. Okay. Guitar, Roland JC120 for sure. Super chorus amp. Mini mode bass. I'll give you a really funny thing about this song. I played this in the car one time, and my brother thought it sucked so bad that he ejected it out of this tape recorder, rolled down the window, held the tape outside of the car, and said, "If you ever play this again, I will throw it in the freeway." Oh, so good.
Could you play along with it? Can you play along with it?
I got the suspension. I got the suspension. That's all I need to know. Dude, this is all set up. Come on. Kenny. Before auto-tune, people. Dude. I still love it right now as much as I loved it the first time.
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, breakdown. Very Michael McDonald.
Yes.
Right? Like a DX7 maybe right there. Okay, now the band's gonna come back in. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Fairlight. The Fairlight vocal sample.
It's crazy that you were predicting stuff way before it happened.
Yeah, kind
Like,
of, right?
you were like, this is coming.
Well, here's the funny thing, and here's the funny thing, like, I think of all this 80s stuff right now, and I think of like what's on the radio right now, and I think of like Dua Lipa and The Weeknd and all, and it's like 80s, it's just 80s again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then it makes me feel good that I love the 80s.
Tame Impala. Right?
Impala.
Yeah.
I mean, so many bands are just so, or like the 1975.
Yep.
You know, it's like, it's just so 80s influenced, which I love because Like I grew up in this, and so now when I hear these influences now coming back, and they're so 80s influenced.
Yeah.
That for me, it does my heart good.
What about, you were naming every instrument, you were talking about, could you have done that when you were 12 listening to this?
No. Because I didn't even know what those instruments were when I was 12. Like, I didn't know what a Fairlight was.
Yeah.
Or what a JC-120 Roland, chorus amp
Or the Moog
is.
bass, right?
The mini Moog bass.
Yeah.
I had no idea. But now that I know what it all is, and now I listen to the song again, I go, I know what's about to come up. A Fairlight. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. It was just the cool part of knowing gear now.
So it's like your ear, your brain recalled the sound, and now you have the word for it.
Right. Now I can define what it is. Where before, it was just a part that was cool, that I liked, and I was like, oh, that's a cool part. That's a cool bass sound. That's a cool guitar. It's like a compressed Strat through a Roland JC-120. You know what I mean? It's like, back in the day, it was like, this is a cool, funky guitar.
Yeah.
And now I know how to get there, which is rad,
So cool. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, you got it.
Jason told me before we started, he was like, I've never been a lyrics guy. I probably am not going to listen to this and remember lyrics. I was like, I don't care. Remember whatever you want to remember. It's your brain. And you could hear him. He had language for things now as a 50-year-old that he wouldn't have even paid attention to as a 10-year-old. Things like the bass, right? And the electric drums, the vocoder, like, that's where his brain went, and he's like, oh, listen to this, right? But then I had that idea, if he's not going to remember lyrics, maybe he remembers how to play with it. Maybe it's chords, maybe it's harmony. And I asked him if he could play along, and boy, did he. So this was absolutely fascinating to me, and I think to them as well. And I know that this has happened to you also. Like, it happens sometimes to me if I'm watching like TikTok and they know that I'm a Gen Xer. So, I'll come across some Sesame Street song and I'll be like, oh, I knew this. I know that I've seen it, right? It unlocks something in your brain. So I started doing a little bit of research about why this is. Well, something that Jay said actually made me want to go do a little more research. Apparently, memories exist as changes in the brain's neural circuit. They're not completely non-existent in there, but you have to recall them. Recalling it, though, it's not like your brain has stored a video of a particular memory. It's not like that at all. It kind of recreates memories when triggers happen, like hearing a song. Your brain can recreate a memory based on the cues that were stored in different parts of the brain. And music in particular is encoded across all of these different sections of the brain at once. The sound that we're actually hearing is processed in the auditory cortex, and the motor cortex is responsible for things like playing air guitar or tapping your foot to the music. The amygdala and limbic systems are responsible for those emotions that I was talking about before. And the kind of prediction that we all did as we heard something, especially Jake, when he heard that lyric, Mankind Brotherhood, and he was like, what's going to happen right here? It didn't happen right there. He had to wait a second, and then it happened. That kind of pattern prediction happens in the procedural memory part of your brain. The hippocampus is another place where more autobiographical stuff is stored, I guess, like where you were at the time, like things about yourself, And this is why patients with Alzheimer's can still recall lyrics and melodies to songs even after other parts of their brain are so diminished. I mentioned that period from 8 to 14 where we're super malleable. There's a term for this. It's called the reminiscence bump. It's that time in your life when identity formation is happening and your brain is just really, really plastic. You're absorbing everything like a sponge. Also, the repetition from how many times I listened to that cassette, because it's all I owned, is very important. That our brains, if we can repeat things a lot of times when we're that young, we're never going to forget them. And that repeated listening informs the brain's statistical learning system. So as a kid, I was internalizing those harmonic probabilities, without even having language for it. But as an adult musician, My adult music theory trained brain can recognize what my child brain encoded implicitly. So when I heard music, when I heard chords doing a specific thing and I knew that it was going to happen before it happened, that's procedural memory. And it's not conscious recall. It's similar to how we can speak fluidly and we never think about actual grammar. Now, how about those lyrics, though? Did you ever have a time when you were studying something? I remember studying the preamble to the U.S. Constitution, maybe in the 8th grade, and I knew that I had to memorize it, and I knew that I would memorize much better if I created a song for it. So I made up a little song, and I can still sing the preamble with the silly melody that I made. That's lyric recognition, right? Having a melody makes you remember the words. And it's the same way that I taught my children our phone number. They can all still sing my cell phone number, sing our landline number, so that if they're ever lost, they're going to be okay. The melody provides something called a retrieval scaffold. And it's not just memory, it's rhythm as well. The rhythm kind of puts our language in little chunks. I hate that word. And so that we can compartmentalize. And the rhyme and the repetition can reinforce that encoding. And it's all just fascinating to me. But I told you that I had saved the last track on this Marie Osmond album to experience in real time with you, so that I'm not the only one flipping out on camera. Let's do that. All right, the album is called There's No Stopping Your Heart. There's also a track that said that. And don't be mad that I'm just going to hold my phone up to my ear. I'm worried about the copyright strikes, which is why I had those guys do that. So here we go. The last track on the album is called Blue Sky Shining. Here we go. This sounds very Patsy Cline to me. Oh, but it's so familiar. Don't know. No, I didn't remember that. Please set me free. Down to the 6. Could depend on. Dawn. Sharp 5. Don't sing to me. Oh man. We don't hold in harmony. Crazy. Tomorrow maybe. Big build up. There will be a blue sky. This is a good song. Shining through my window. Oh, I don't remember that. But there we go. Sky. Remember that little nuance. Through my... Oh. That's a cool change. Minor 4. Shining in. I remember there was a slide, but I got the note wrong. Sweet then life could be. Something surprising is going to happen the next time. The next time she does that cadence, it's going to do a tag, I think. It's a good song. It's very Patsy Cline. I might be listening to this one again. Actually, a lot of the songs on this album actually hold up. I'm not even kidding you. It's a pretty good album, and I don't think I'm just biased. Here we go. A blue sky shining through my window. Oh, sky shining through. Oh, straight 8ths. I just want to see if I'm right about this tag. Minor 4. Ooh, skies. It's a good melody. I don't know who wrote these songs. They're very good. While sweet then life could. Is there a deceptive cadence? Oh, it's just a 4 chord. There you go. Blue Sky Shining. Thank you, Marie. Yeah, it's a good album. Well, since we're talking about where things are stored, have you ever tried Googling your name? Things like your name, your phone number, your address, your email addresses, all of them can be kept all over the internet on sketchy websites. And the worst thing that could happen is that some terrible scammer can get a hold of it and pretend to be you or try to scam you in some way. About a year ago, I discovered Incogni, and they are amazing at removing my information from data brokers and those people search websites. They can't harm you if they can't find you. With Incogni Unlimited, you can custom remove your data from just about anywhere you find yourself online. All you do is go to one of these sites, copy the link of the URL, and paste it into the Incogni dashboard and click Submit. Incogni's team will start to work to remove your data immediately. It really couldn't be easier. You can use my code Amy Nolte that you see here or in the description of this video to get 60% off an annual plan. That's incogni.com/Amy Nolte. Thanks to Incogni and to all of you for supporting my channel, and I'll see you next time on Amy Nolte Music.